About an hour with Roger Ball. Also got to visit with his wife, Marcia. And then, of course, each one of our owners, amazing times. And they went deep into what they believe is happening in our time. And the first thing I wanted to share, Roger Ball said, it's so good to have all you folks here. He knew most of us were from Hawaii, but other places. And he said, some of you I met at conventions, some of you, I know your names and who you are. I can't even begin to know everyone, but I want you to share with the team. I really love and appreciate everyone, and everyone's a really important part of this mission. And he truly conveys that gratitude for each one of us, that respect and honor, which is so much of the culture of 7K, as you know, Bob. And so this same heart came from Mrs. Ball, Marcia, from Christy, from our owners. They really do appreciate us. They treat us like friends, like family. And we experienced that at an epic level at the lodge. And one thing that was so striking, I think, about our owners and our executives, they are true humble servant leaders. They were doing everything. Even Marcia Ball, Christy Ball, in the kitchen, cooking, doing dishes. Some of us offered to help. They said, no, we're here to serve you. You guys have fun, relax. Just amazing hearts in these folks. And what a privilege it is to be part of this. So the message is clear. And I know many of you have seen Roger's video with Jason interviewing him. If you haven't seen that, it is posted on our Telegram channel. I would encourage you to watch that one again. I've watched it several times because Roger's heart comes so clear. He really does believe that this is the greatest company he's been associated with. He believes that anyone who gets gold and silver will be blessed in unforeseen ways. And we all know that already, don't we? So those are just a few of the things I wanted to share that were really important experiences for me. And I know Bob was going to show us some beautiful pictures, I believe. Bob, of course, been on many founders lifestyle retreats, and we have many folks on this Zoom today that were there. We have Elaine. I see Brittany was with us. Cheryl won the trip but couldn't make it because of family commitments. We missed you there, Cheryl. We had Dutch girl Dar with us. Gregory was champion in the games that Bob's going to talk about. They had a tournament going on over there. That was amazing. And I'm just looking at Coyle, of course, was there with us. And man, it was an amazing time. So, Bob, we thank you for always being such a great leader with us and sharing all these great times and these great Saturday morning sessions where you mentor us.
Thank you, Pastor Gary. This is so good to be with everybody on our regular advanced training Saturday morning for 7K. And again, I think the highlight of our training today will be for everyone that missed the FLG, make sure you're on the FLG next year. That's the key, is you want to experience something like that. I mean, this is a historic place that we visited, the Salmon River Lodge, and 7K now owns it. And it's going to be another membership benefit. And that'll be some of the things I want to address after we talk about the getaway, and a few of us share our experiences on the getaway. We've been blessed. We've been on every getaway from the beginning with 7K. We've taken they take an annual trip. This is not the annual trip. So you don't have to win a contest to go on the annual trip. So everyone that's here and every one of your future new members can go on a 7K getaway trip. It usually is in January, February, March, during the winter months. The people in Idaho want to get out of the snow and the cold, and they want to go where it's warm and where there's beaches and there's water that they can get into instead of stand on top of, like the frozen rivers, for example. And so, we started our very first trip, Pamela and I, at Roger and Marsha Ball's ranch, Buffalo Ranch, on Limb High. Now, what people don't know about the 7K getaway is that Limb High was only about an hour from where we were at the Salmon River Lodge. So in future events, I was talking to Jason, they're going to include the Buffalo Ranch because that's an experience in a lifetime. That's one of the largest buffalo ranches in the world. It's sitting in the top of the mountains, so you can see everything around it. And that Lemhi River goes and empties into the Salmon River. And uh, uh, it's a long, long drive to get to the Buffalo Ranch. But we spent an entire day at the Buffalo Ranch. We saw the bison. We toured through the bisons. Of course, that's very neat. We did horseback riding. We did rifle shooting, shotgun shooting. We played all kind of games, just like we did at the Founders Lodge. We had meals, and we just spent the entire day in and out of the beautiful ranch and that Roger and Marsha Ball. And they shared their life with us, basically. They shared their mountain home with us. Now, of course, on the last year's FLG, we actually visited Marsha Ball's and Roger's home and had the bison filet dinner in their garden patio area, which is fabulous right outside of their home. And this year, that's how we opened up a dinner. Now, what we did is many of us, we flew into Boise, regular airport, but then we go over to a charter plane. They had 5 charter planes. Of course, we'll see some of them. I don't have all the pictures of all of them. I wish I did. But and then we took a charter flight for about an hour and 15 minutes from Boise to Salmon, Idaho. And population about 3,000 people. Really nice old town. We got to visit Jason's father's store, and I'm so glad we did. We were able to buy a few things there and some mementos. But he basically ran that business. They're just all entrepreneurs, the entire family, Jason's family. And you have to be. These are pioneering cities. These aren't just big metropolises. These are cities way back in the mountains and the rivers. And there's really that still that exists in America. I mean, there was one air conditioning, heating business in the whole city. It did everything. So there wasn't a second one. There was, Jason Altman's dad really had a clothing store. It's an upscale store, but they had another clothing store there too. But it was the J.C. Penney's. J.C. Penney's burnt down. They didn't want to rebuild it, so he opened Altman's clothing and mercantile store. So we got to visit that. We took a 2-hour, and not quite 2 hours, an hour and 30-minute bus ride down first asphalt roads, kind of nice roads. Then we get off and we get on the edge of the mountain road, and it turned into dirt. Okay, and so here we are, way above the Salmon River, and many people had some exciting views that they've never had because we're on the edge. The Salmon River cuts and makes the border for the largest existing wilderness area in the United States today, and that's the Idaho wilderness. So everything from the Salmon River all the way up to Canada is all wilderness. What do I mean by wilderness? It is true nothing except land, mountains, animals, and very few people live in the wilderness because if they do, they're living off the land. There is no electricity, no gas, no water, no anything other than what you make on your own. And so even at the Salmon River Lodge, which 7K now owns. And it's more than just a lodge. It's a series of mountain cabins with one large, huge lodge where everybody congregates, have meals and meat like we did for our breakfast, lunch, and dinners, and then for our business meeting, that our one and only business meeting one night, and for a little bit, catch up on things. And we'll tell you some of the secrets that they told us there that night. So they only told us first. So those of that's on this advanced training, you get to hear it first too, from those of us that were blessed to be there. And then we got to participate in all kind of the activities that there. But just to let you know, it's not really it's roughing it, but it's not roughing it. And so I think some of the people in Hawaii maybe experienced some of this the first time, but it's first class camping. Okay. I mean, first class camping, because see, you were waited on head and foot. We didn't have to cook anything. We didn't want for anything. And we had, just the most comfortable beds to sleep on. And we had our own, but some of us had a cabin of 6. Some of us had bunk cabins. Some of us had like semi-private cabins. And so we'll talk about that a little bit later, and with other people's experiences. And we got to do whitewater rafting on the Salmon River. We got to do jet boating, and we got to do a little fishing for some trout. And we did all kind of competitive games like cornhole and horseshoes and ring the rung, and that. So, and then they had a great competition there. But we got to visit with each other. We got to sit back and relax. Well, I don't know if it's called sit back and relax. I was tuckered out. I mean, I'm still tuckered out. I mean, this was. I normally don't get tired, but I was plain tuckered. I was exhausted, to be honest with you. I mean, and so I was telling Pamela today when we woke up, and she said, "Man, I slept good last night." I said, "Well, you should, baby. You slept over 10 hours." And I said, "Well, that's good, because I had 8 hours sleep, and that's unusual for me." But uh, Pastor Gary said something that I'd like to kick off with here too. And it's part of what we're doing. We get to enjoy things. But the real key I share with everyone, and I know you all hear this from me many times, and Pastor Gary touched on it, the mission. Uh, as you were sharing, and as you were, encouraging people to get in, they're going to have some preconceived ideas. They're going to have past experiences. That's going to always get in their way. It's their way, not your way. But you've got to help persist and persevere and go through that with them until you can actually catch their attention. And one of the ways I want you to learn to catch their attention, and it kind of goes with what we're doing today, because those of you that experience it, those of you that hear this, inside your 7K brochure, now you have this in PDF, PowerPoint, and high quality brochure form, you're going to have this little page. And it starts right in the middle. It's right before the mission. And so, I want you to open that up, and I want you to read that to the person you're trying to share about 7K and becoming a partner with you and becoming part of this. And so, here, and I'll pick on Betty. Okay, she's our newest member. Okay, so I'm pick on Betty, and I'll say, Betty, I want you to be a part of something bigger than us, like I am, and I want you to just kind of throw out of your mind that I'm trying to get you into something, and I know you feel that way, but I want you to just kind of listen, just go with me and on a couple of pages. But we believe in you and want to guide you in your journey to creating and protecting true wealth for your family and your legacy, because you deserve it. Now, what part of that wouldn't you want to be part of right there? What part of that wouldn't you want to be part of? See, learn to ask good questions at the right time. Make a statement, ask the question. Then you just go to the next page. We are going to show you how to use the secrets the wealthy have always used to confidently get ahead of the game now and forever. We are 7K. See, that's what I want you to be a part of. What part of that wouldn't you want to know? What would you want to know? Wouldn't you want to know the secrets the wealthy have always used? I mean, just learning it would be worthwhile, wouldn't it? So, let me just turn the page, and I know you don't know the founders. Now, I don't know them real well, but some of us know them much better. Those of you that's had this experience, you really get to use this. Those of you who shook the hands of Roger and Marsha Ball and his daughter, Jason, Josh, Zach, Richard Wayne Hansen, those of you get to use this like this because now you know them. You've met them. You've seen them. You've experienced it. The 7K founders are on a mission to change the world. They have changed multiple industries for the better, and they have a passion for helping the average person get ahead. Now, what part of that will we not want to be part of? Let's hear the real message. And I know it's true because I know the founders. I've met them. I've talked with them. We created 7K because we genuinely want to improve the lives of people around the world. We have watched way too many of our friends struggle as the economy fluctuates, employment issues arise, or unexpected changes come up in life. Using the power of gold and silver, we believe we can provide a way for people to create financial independence, preserve their wealth, and live an exceptional life. We started this company because we believe in you, and you deserve it, and I believe in you, and that's why I want you to be a part of this with me. 4 little pages. Learning how to do the skills, the tools, use them, the SATs that I teach, the basics. And I know this is advanced training, but this is the advanced part of this. And also not to get distracted by all the new additions this company is going to be bringing to the table over for the next 10 years. In October, there's going to be another great big addition. They shared with us that 7K, and so I'm going to give you some of the sharing. They shared with us that 7K has 2 gold and silver mines in different countries. They're mining for gold and silver right now, actively. So that should allay some of the, let's say, questions in people's mind. What about if they don't have gold and silver, can't get gold and silver? Well, see, gold, 7K's never had that problem. You've never missed a coin that makes you active to earn a check. So they're actively mining. They have their own gold and silver mines right now. And I dare say they'll be acquiring many more in the future because that's just the way Roger Ball does business. Always has, always will. He vertically integrates his business. He doesn't depend on anyone else to be able to impact the business that he's in. Just look at his bison meats product, largest natural meats product plant in the world. And guess what? He's the 2nd largest bison rancher in the world. And so, and he raises all of his own feed for the bison, all the hay fields, all the other things. And so, why would he do it any different with 7K? He wouldn't. And that's the whole point. So they actually have their own gold and silver mines. They're actively mining for it right now. In fact, some of the people here on this call right now, and they'll be sharing in a second, got to gold pan, and they get to keep what gold they had because they brought some of the muds and stuff from their current gold mining operation and let the members pan for gold and got to keep it if they found it in their active gold mine. So uh, I know we're going to get it all excited here about sharing and things here, and I'm going to share some of the pictures, but I am going to take this advantage because I know we got some new members on here too. And I won't, because we're going to be adding benefits. One of the benefits is 7K owns the Salmon River Lodge. And so in the future, everyone will be able to go there at a discount. So that'll be a membership benefit. So you could arrange and pay for your own family to experience a once in a lifetime experience like we just experienced. And you just pay on a per person basis for it. And you could go there for a number of nights and days and experience the wilderness, but you get it at a discount. Now it's going to be open to the other public too. So we get priority reservations. And so it's part of 7K getaway. And that's going to be another membership benefit. No one else would get these discounts. And then we're going to have this big thing come in October. Now we already have stack and sell. And some of the people, I want you to learn about benefits. I want you to learn about everything that 7K offers, but never let it distract you from doing what you need to do. And that is building a solid foundation, and keep building the solid foundation for your business for 3 to 5 years. There's the key. Don't ever get off focus, because if you get off focus, you'll get distracted. And when you get distracted, you won't build that foundation you need for that long-term foundational legacy that you want to build for your children's children. Let me share what I mean. And I'm going to just share this real quick, go over it real fast, not as slow as I normally do, but what I'm talking about is not getting distracted. This is the key. It will take you 2 years to learn the skills, attitudes, and techniques. For example, to even share the way I just trained on these 4 pages in this book, and how to ask that question and how to do it so that people understand it comes from your heart and you're not trying to get them into something. It's going to take you 2 years minimum to learn the real skills, attitudes, and techniques and how to employ them properly and understand everything. And so the only difference between this and any other career is that you can develop a residual income and a base in anywhere between 5 and 7 years. Now, some people are very fortunate and they get it in 2 years, but those are very few. But everyone can get it in 5 to 7 years. And I'm talking about a sustainable residual income, because the company is going to continue growing. And so learning this 1 page and keep repeating it with your partners, and don't get off focus, because see, this is the key. This is the thing that people I have seen and witnessed. If they get off focus and stop doing my job description, and what's that job description? Exposing this business, exposing it to 5 people a day. And that means you're going to be going back. But if you don't have that list, you can't expose it in a proper manner, and manner that gets where you're not a pest, but you know how to be persistent. So learn to be persistent without being a pest. You must watch a video once a day. So it's either the company's videos, trainings, or videos, or one of my videos. Because I got lots of training for you. I got 4.5 years worth of training up on my YouTube site. So you can pick and choose until you get it all. And so it's doing the job description and if you don't do this, what's going to happen, you're going to get distracted and your attitude's going to get in your way and you become the problem. So that's why I teach reading attitude every day. That's why I teach, picking up the Bible and reading 15 minutes in it every day, getting those skills, attitudes, techniques, leadership qualities, all those qualities that one learns from the oldest book of time. Okay. And then we will learn that even if we are just building, learning, we do those 2 years of just learning, maybe you never sponsored a person in that 2 years. Now I want to just give vision here, why I do this. And I've already had this happen with people who stayed with me for 2 years, never sponsored the first person in almost 2 years. But they finally got the skills, attitudes, and techniques, and even going back maybe to some of the old one, but new one, but they finally got a person. See, this team was built through them. And they were buying their coin every month, and they had a big bank account here. And because they had and no other company gives this capability for people. This company does. That's our difference. And so they have that big bank account with all these tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands or even millions of points, and points, and we know, are dollars. So then they got skills, attitudes, and techniques, and they finally get a person. Maybe they get a person and place them here. But they only have one here, right? Where they place them here and they start, and when that person starts making a check, it takes 500 points on one side, 500 points on the other. Well, when they start making their first check, this person gets ready and starts building up to 500 points. And we just tell them, hey, sponsor your dad, your mom, your father, your spouse, put them on the other side. Who wouldn't spend $199 and sponsor their spouse or their friend or their sister or their brother or whoever and put them on the left side and then earn a $500 check because it paid for the membership? So that's why I'm saying everybody ends up with this family business back up here in time, because now they got one on their left, one on their right. They make a $500 check. When this person makes their $500 check, they make another $500 check. Hello. And you keep doing this until you get a person that starts making $500 check every week on this side. Well, they're going to be eligible to make a $1,000 check every week. How is that? Well, they're going to have to, they'll get 500 every week, and who couldn't use an extra $500 for the rest of their life? Well, they'll have to earn the 1,000 by doing what? Becoming a copper. And that means they will have to help someone over here become an associate, sponsor someone else on this side as they are building this side. And then when they do get a person that becomes an associate, what's an associate? Person has one on their left and one on the right, or a family business back is an associate. And so when they do that, that person's going to go way down under all these people. And that motivates all these people. And that's why you have such stickability in this business. And we're accumulating wealth and preserving wealth. Well, that's the main focus of learning the skills, attitudes, and technique. Winners, and they all want to be a winner. But if you quit, you can never win. And this is a perfect exemplification of that. But winners never quit. And so a person that does my system and teaches this and let that duplicate, you'll always be a winner. And so what do I mean by that? We know we'll learn the power of exponential projection because we only need two, one on the left, one on the right. And in time, everyone can get two. Everyone can. And we know that residual incomes have made differences in everybody's walk of life since 1954, since this industry was put in place. And so it can happen with you too if we control this every day. That's what we got to control every day. And by doing that, you will build the belief in this profession of networking as I have. When you have the belief in it that I have, you'll build it even stronger than I ever did. And you have belief in the business building system that I'm teaching you. You got to believe in it for it to work. If you don't have belief in it, then you're going to have to create your own. So our business building system is one that I'm teaching you, and the one that we have the basic training in the company and the associate training. If you believe in these two things, then you will believe that you can do it too. And that's my system all wrapped up in one little slide. What I'm going to do is share a few pictures, and then I'm going to ask a few people, other people to share, because I did kind of finally get them downloaded, some pictures. Let's see if I can find them here. Oh yeah, I did. I don't know where to start. Should I start at the beginning or start at the end? Let's see. Can't there. I don't even have the pictures of my beginning, but we'll get close to the big end. Let's see if we can get this thing coming up, and let's share a few pictures as we go through. And let's see, Ku'ule. I'd like for you to kind of unmute yourself if you can. I think that was pretty cool because I think this was one of your first adventures into the wilderness. Is that true, Ku'ule?
Yes, wilderness. Yes, it is.
Okay, and this is from the road, that bus ride that we took. You remember that bus ride?
Oh, do I remember it?
What do you remember most about that bus ride?
It was bumpy.
It was bumpy. Hey, we got close to the edge sometime, didn't we?
Yeah, I tell you. I thought we were going to go over into the river a couple of times.
Well, that's why I asked you to share, but we were kind of moving on because we needed to get there, didn't we? Well, everybody look, this is the Salmon River Lodge. This is the dock. These are jet boats here. And this is the
Can you click on it? Can you click on it so you can open it so we can see it?
Oh, y'all don't see it?
It's not open. It's a whole collage of pictures.
Oh, well, I did. I clicked on it. Well, let me unshare and then share back. That's why I was. Oh, there it is. Okay, I have to reshare. Okay, how's that?
Okay, now we got it.
Okay, super. So here's this edge, and that river's way down here, and we took this picture from the bus as we were moving. Okay, and so there's the Salmon River Lodge. We'll see a little closer up and the deck, and here's all the activity grounds and things like this. And the other lodges are all back up here in the trees and behind here. And so let me go to the next. Hopefully, can you see that's a close-up of it?
That's a beautiful picture.
Okay, that's more of a close-up of the Salmon River. Here's kind of chairs on the lawn. There's the big deck where we're at many times overlooking the river. I'm going to go through some things. Here we are on the jet boat. one jet boat's already docked, people are getting off. Here's our jet boat pulling in as we're pulling up to the lodge for the first time. And there we are disembarking for the jet boat. Jet boat's going to get back some more people. There's Richard Wayne Hanson out there greeting everybody. That's my lovely wife, Pamela. There's Sandra Donaldson. There is Tom and Christy Liddell. And there's Marsha Ball talking to Pamela and the daughter Christy. That's Casey. He's our policy director at 7K. Here we are just out kind of lounging around. That's Lauren Ockman. That's Jason's daughter. She works at 7K. They are cooking our bison steaks for our dinner. Oh, hey, Greg, why don't you unmute yourself and come on? I think that was your first time to ever eat bison steak. Isn't that true? Greg? I saw him earlier. I'm going to just show some picture. Gregory. Align. There he is. He's connecting now. Okay. This is just some pictures of the view that we had in Sawtooth Mountain. There's everybody starting to come in, and we all gathered around for a little breathing. Y'all get to meet Mitch Barney. He's in our group. There's Marsha Christie. I guess
Hey,
that's
Bob, this is
Stephanie.
Greg.
Hey, Gregory.
Hey,
Hey, is that the
morning.
first time you ever had bison steak?
That was the very first time, and I was kind of skeptic. And I was telling my wife, "Oh, bison! I don't know about bison." And what happened was I grabbed a small piece, and after I tasted it, I go, "Oh, this is good." I grabbed another bigger piece. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I ate two of them too.
Those bison tenderloins is what is gonna be one of my favorites now.
Yeah,
But
and what most people don't know is that is the most healthy protein to eat is bison, and it's all natural. There's no, especially Rogers, they don't use any hormones on it, use anything there, and it has very little fat in it, but what fat it does gives it that juicy flavor. So I just call it an upgrade of cow. Okay, it tastes just like, it tastes better. It's delicious meat, and I hope everyone has a chance to try some good Roger Ball bison fillets. And these were hand selected by Roger. You'd see Teresa walking there. There's Ku'ule and Stephanie. Stephanie, you're on the line with us today. I saw her earlier.
Hey, Bob.
Hey, Stephanie, let me ask you, I mean, you stayed in one, didn't you stay in a cabin like this? This is one of
Have
the
I ever
cabins.
stayed at a cabin like that? No, never.
No, you didn't stay in a cabin like this? Okay, yeah, I know Teresa.
Oh no, wait. I stayed in a cabin, but never before.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense? This is my first time ever in a cabin.
I forgot who was with who. Did you stay with Teresa?
No, I was with Ku'ule and Brittany.
Oh, so y'all had the air conditioning cabin. Y'all were
Yes.
upscale. Oh,
We had the cabin that was surrounded by the guys.
The guys.
That's right. You were in what we call the bunkhouse cabins, which
The
were
bunkhouse cabin.
the ladies had their bunkhouse and the guys had their bunkhouse. So you had 3 to 4 people in those. But y'all had air conditioning. Oh, y'all were upscale.
Yes, we did.
Well, this is the cabin that we stayed in, okay? And so when you go up, there's a kitchen here, there's a big living room here, and then there's a master bedroom in the back, and then upstairs there's bedrooms. And so we had three of us in our, We had 6 of us, 2 in each room, in our cabin. So this is an example. They had 3 cabins like this. Tarita had hers. There's Pamela, and we're walking. She's walking out of our cabin. There was Tarita's cabin as we were walking down, and I think there is Joe and Ku'ulei. Just sitting out on the deck and things. So Ku'ulei, what was your experience? What would you, as I flashed through some of these pictures, what would you say was your major experience that you got? What did you enjoy? What did you take away from your 7K getaway trip that you almost didn't go on?
You know, I got to say the highlight of it all is being able to talk to the other members that we don't know that are not part of our Hawaii team, and being able to sit down and talk to the founders one-on-one. That was so dearing to my heart to be able to listen to them and talk to them one-on-one, and share my heart as well. And then I think the highlight of the whole trip was river rafting. Teresa and I got thrown out by Josh Anderson almost to the lodge. So just so you guys know, when you're on the Salmon River, it flows right into the lodge. So once they throw you out, if you just lay in the river and on your back and you float, you're gonna run right into the lodge. So when he threw us out, we wanted to jump out. When we got closer, we didn't know we were as close as we were, but he did. So that's why we told him we wanted to jump out. He threw us out, and then we floated all the way back to the lodge. It was so much fun, you guys. The water was freezing cold at first, but as you're kicking around and you're floating, you warm up, and especially with the life jackets. It was really good, because all you had to do is lay back and just float.
Just float. It was fine. Yeah, that was an exciting adventure, going down to whitewater rafting with everybody and all the rafts, kind of in a little competition of who can dunk who sometimes.
Yeah, I told Tarita, I said, I think we're in the Ali'i raft, because I say Ali'i because we had Sandra and George Donaldson, and that's royalty for you, Bob. So we were in the royalty raft. Okay. So we had Bob, and I'm sorry, we had George and
George.
Sandra Donaldson. We had Gerard, because he was on crutches the whole time. We had Tarita, and then we had Stephanie and me, and we had Christy Ball as well. She was such a rambunctious little girl. I mean, she's not a little girl, but she kept pulling Blake. Every time their raft would get near us, she would grab his life vest and yank him down in the water like he was a toy.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the fun parts of that thing too. But you're right. You were on the loyalty raft. Now, we didn't tell you this ahead of time, but you were on the raft that couldn't turn over and couldn't sink.
And Josh Anderson was our paddler.
Y'all had total security. That's why George could stand up on it at the point.
He was like George Washington on the front of our raft, standing up, holding on to the rope. And it was so funny. Everybody, even when we went over the rapids, he was still standing.
That's right. And I don't know if but do you see Brother Gary getting his 100-ounce silver bar for making silver in less than 90 days, along with Tarita and along with Tom? They always presented their 100-ounce bar that night because they had attained silver in less than 90 days, a rank of silver, and held it for 45 days. Ku'ulei is working on her hole right now, along with several others, to get their 100-ounce silver bar after their 45-day hole. Brother Gary, this is a picture of you getting your silver bar that it disappeared for a little while, I understand.
Yes, sir, Brother Bob.
There's
That was the price.
Teresa and Tom. So
Yep.
go ahead. Tell us, Brother Gary, I know you did in the beginning, but what was that like, putting that 100-ounce bar in your hand, holding on it? And I know you still have it with you, but
Yes, sir.
share with us the most outstanding experience. What did you enjoy doing the best there? And while you were at Salmon River Lodge, in terms of the adventures, and then what was the real highlight for you of the Salmon River Lodge? And there's a picture of all of them. Yes, Brother Gary, just shares. I'm sharing pictures. I'm gonna share pictures.
Yes.
Here we go.
Well, Brother Bob, I know you know this quote so well by
Oh,
John
that's
C.
me
Maxwell.
fishing.
Yeah, look at that. Oh, man, that is a classic, Bob. Hey, did you catch anything on that fishing expedition?
Yes, that's the one that pulled up right in front of me and got off right when I was about ready to reach down and pick him up out of the water.
Man, I love it. Oh, that is a classic picture of you.
Hey, Bob,
Yeah.
I heard you caught a cold.
Well, hey,
I love this
y'all,
picture.
this is Jason Ockman, by the way, in this
Yes.
picture. And he was coming to pull me in, and look who has me. Santos kept pulling me in the boat, so I got wetter in the boat than I got in the river.
Oh my
But,
God.
Brother Gary, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yes,
We
so-
interrupted you.
I said, Bob, I know you know the quote very well by John C. Maxwell. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And we know there is no substitute for face-to-face, heart-to-heart communication. And that's what we experience with our owners, our executives, with other leaders that we maybe haven't met before, haven't spent a lot of time with. And then, of course, with our own team, just bonding deeper. So that was the greatest experience for me of all, is to see the true heart of our owners and executives and leaders. The culture, of course, is created by the leadership, and no organization can exceed the heart, the integrity, the experience, the, of course, wisdom, expertise, and financial foundation of its owners. And we got to see everything so up close and personal. And as all of you that were there experienced so profoundly, our owners and executives at 7K, they went out of their way to be up close and personal with us. And I think we all entered into another dimension of not only the business partnership, but true friendship. And that's priceless, because we know that we got something very special here, this mission. But what's most important is this mission is because of very special people who had a vision, and they worked very hard as a labor of love to put this mission into reality, first for the United States, and now we're taking this to the world. Of course, this was an absolute blast too. So much fun. I described 7K rafting as rafting MMA. it was part rafting and part football, part MMA wrestling, and just the sheer fun of seeing our owners and executives and many of our team members just tackling each other off of those rafts into the water. Man, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
And,
Go ahead. I will go ahead and finish up. I want to bring Brittany on next. She was one of our younger members, but go ahead and finish up, Brother Gary.
Yeah, and then just the great uniqueness of our team, to see Tarita having some of her very powerful prayers with Sir Richard Hansen and others, and this was also so wonderful is the founders every single meal went out of their way to initiate prayer. They called on someone else each time. Our brother Dustin, brother D, he got to do the opening prayer. It was beautiful, part Hawaiian style. And, you know, these are truly people that they got hearts of gold. And we got to see it so up close and personal. And then, of course, we had a lot of fun with Brother Santos. He was doing his card tricks and comedy, entertaining everybody. Quite astonishing, actually. And then the horseback riding, I think you're showing that trail right now, Bob. Oh, what an experience to ride up the side of that mountain on a 2-foot wide trail that these horses are trained to run on with cliffs
That's
going
what's
right
below
down.
it. That's
Yes.
what's
Oh,
below it.
amazing. Amazing.
And so, Brittany, if you wouldn't mind coming, she was one of our younger winners that was on the trip with us. Would you mind sharing a little bit about what you really enjoyed? And this, by the way, is a true wilderness man. He lives right there across the Salmon River. He's the expert jet boater. Bill has been on that up and down that river jet boating for 42 years. But Brittany, please share with us a little bit about your experiences there and what you enjoyed most.
Okay. Hi, Bob. Hi, guys. So I actually didn't win the contest. I was actually blessed to be invited by Auntie Steph as her guest. And so I took that advantage because most of you on this call or that are or leaders or above me have actually met the founders back in May in Salt Lake City. And however, I have not. So this was my chance to see the hearts of the founders. And this was the trip that you truly get to see the lifestyle of these founders. As many of you seen through the pictures that Bob is showing, that they're pretty much dressed casual. And they've actually shared that if you were ever to visit and they pick you up, they'll pick you up, and they love to hunt. So if they're coming off the hunt, like being hunting or whatever, that's how they pretty much just were comfortable and with just them. You've never seen them in suits or whatever, dressed nicely. It was just as comfortable as it gets, casual wear. I was pretty much, we were the whole time there, Gerard and I kept saying that we were so blessed. And what we mean by that was that what company do you have that you have founders, owners, and executives literally serving us? They were truly serving us, meaning they cooked, they catered, and they made sure that we were all having a great time. My biggest nugget, there was many nuggets that I took out of this trip, but the one that will always stick with me is this. We truly found out that even though that they're founders, they're executives, and they're very high up there, we think, or it's normal to think, because we have been accumulated this culture to think that those who are up there in high ranking get first dibs on everything. However, that is not. When a new coin or new series comes in, these guys are on that coin drop trying to get into their system, just like we are trying to get the new coin drop. So that was just like mind boggling to me, because that just shows the heart of the founders. There is no special treatment whatsoever. Everyone is straight, flat, the same across the board.
That's just so true. And Brittany, that was the whole thing. Several people were guests that the winners got to bring guests, and you were really blessed. That was a great blessing that Stephanie gave you. The same with Greg and Elaine. They became silver, and they're on their 45-day stint too right now, holding silver. And they became silver right after the contest had ended. And so we were able to get them a guest invite, because George and Sandra both won a trip. And so we were able to get George and Sandra to invite Greg and Elaine. And so we got them on the trip. Stephanie, stand by. I want you to share. And Greg and Elaine, I would like for you to kind of, you were guests also. Greg, I know you shared a little bit, but your final takeaway from the trip, and what you feel about the company. Does this make an impact on what you're going to be doing in the future with your future team members? Greg, Elaine, Galat?
Hey, Bob, and
Yeah.
everyone, everyone on this call. Um, for me, to be here to explain it to other members is you need to work hard and get yourself to one of these trips. It is all worth it. And when you pay the price, you'll enjoy the price. And this is one of the benefits. And we just want to thank George and Sandra and Bob for having the heart to invite us. My biggest takeaway from this trip was experiencing God's nature, what He provided, and just to see the wilderness where we were, where you had to travel by a speedboat just to get there is pretty exciting. And to see how the heart of the executives, the owners, to see how humble they are, is just so awesome. It's one word that would explain this is unexplainable. You need to be there to experience firsthand, just talking to the owners, the executives, and just to know that they're humble people. They're normal. They're not. Um, like I said, it's unexplainable.
Thank you. And it was such a pleasure to have you there. But I understand you're the champion coin holder for the FLG. Yeah, very competitive young man here. Congratulations. That was a great trip. We enjoyed having y'all there. And we look forward to many more adventures with the 7K Hawaii Ohana team and future getaways. Dar, I want you to stand by. Stephanie, will you come in? But Dar, our Dutch girl, I want you to close it because you had quite an exciting adventure. You just loved it. I saw it the entire time. So I want you to give your closing remarks. Stephanie, you come in and kind of give us your takeaways for the 7K 2021 getaway. There you be right there. Look at there. There's your picture. Beautiful.
Sorry.
Huh,
That's beautiful. And you know, part of the beauty of this business is that you can do it from anywhere in the world. So while you guys are already home, I'm still in California. And while this call was ongoing, I've actually been getting a pedicure. So my foot has been in the water. And I'm getting beautified, my feet. But that's just what God has for us. So I just wanted to say thank you, Bob, for all that you and Pamela have done for us since the beginning of time when we joined since March. You have always been there, but not just you, but the founders and the leaders like Blake. Yeah, my card. Okay, wait, hang on.
Yeah.
I'm just being released here. I don't know where my shoe is. Where did my sandal go? Wait, sorry. Okay. All right. Sorry for that distraction. Thank you. So I come into agreement with what everyone else has said so far, but really I give tribute and honor and glory, first of all, to our Lord and Jesus Christ, our Savior, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be in this business. And the success, every moment of the successes that we've had so far, I must say it's because it's a God thing. And a lot of people don't really get that sometimes, you know, if we talk to other people who are non-believers, but being in that setting for 3 days was just a culmination of everything that he has promised. So what I really truly enjoyed was being in the middle of his creations. Everything that I did practically from the first moment that we got there was not my norm. And he had said before that this is a new season. So from that private airplane charter plane ride, being tens of thousands of feet above his creations and being able to see up close and personal from above where we were going was the beginning of the awesomeness. And then, like everyone said, that bus ride and to see the people who are in Salmon Valley, that was such a aha moment, because there are places in the world where they are not caught up in the chaos and the noise of the world, but they're living in God's nature. And that was a huge takeaway for me, because I always thought that if you're out in the boonies, then you're away from, I don't know, like I'm a city girl. So that was a big experience. And then just being in the middle of nature where we had a chance to shut off the world because we had no access to communications. You know, for some of us who are like truly tied to our phone, because my day job is being in communications, right? So to be in a setting where you didn't have phone access, that was huge for me. And then to do all the things that we did, all of the activities were not a Steph thing. Like just being in the water. Like I may live in Hawaii, but I can probably count on my 5 fingers the number of times to actually go into the water. So being in the water at the end, when Tarita kind of like highly encouraged me to get into that water to join her in Kool-Aid, that was a splash of a different type of an experience, right?
Yeah.
And then to be on the horseback when you're in the middle of a thunderstorm, like really of all the times that we could have been on the horseback riding session, we chose the time where it was storming. Like we were being saddled as the thunder was crackling and the huge raindrops was just drenching us. And so I could just, all I could do was pray that my horse would be a sure-footed horse going up that steep hill and going down, especially going down that slippery, muddy path, right? So it was a trip of having no control over your environment. But that was the cool thing. And then to see that the founders, and not just the founders and the leadership team, but their families, to see the Davises being the ones, you know, the parents of our founder and marketing VP to be the ones cooking for us, they demonstrated the epitome of servant leadership. And to me, that was huge because it showed the heart of the company, you know, and to see that they have a vision larger than any of us could imagine. Like when they made the announcement that they've bought a gold mine, that's beyond amazing, because not too many companies will think of getting to the source of their product. Like if you think about it, we thought we had it great when they told us that they were purchasing all the raw materials that they needed for at least 3 years out to be able to have the supply to fulfill the orders of its members. But to go to the source of it and get the raw materials like from the ground, that is like that's beyond my expectation. Anyway, I came away from that trip having a greater understanding of where the company is headed, the close tightness and the righteousness and the integrity of the people who are running this operation, seeing that it's not just a business to them, but it's literally a lifestyle. It's something that they've been doing for themselves and they really wanted to get it out to the world, and that they do care for us. Just sitting down and having a one-to-one conversation with Blake regarding some of my concerns on the processes and getting clarity and so forth, that I couldn't ever hope to get on a phone call. That just doesn't happen. But it happens there when you're in a setting like that. And then again, finally, to be able to have the camaraderie of like-minded people who understand the vision that we have, and you know that this company is built on teamwork. The only way that you're ever going to succeed is to have the desire and the passion to help the people who are within your team. But in Hawaii, when we call it the Ohana team, it goes beyond just our regular team. Like I help a lot of people who are not on my direct downline, and that's just how we roll, right? Everybody is helping everybody, and people like Pastor Gary and Cheryl, people above us who are constantly on the watch for us. So if I had to cap it in one statement, I would say that the belief system that we all have goes all the way from the top to the bottom. And it goes full circle because our belief is really in a greater source above us, who is our God. Does that make
That's
sense?
right.
And
Makes
he's the one
sense.
that really ties it together. He brought us there safely. He took us out of there safely. And we know that he's propelling us into a greater future than any of us can imagine. And all we have to do is believe and hang in there and just help everybody.
That's right. Thank you so much, Stephanie. Dar, Dutch girl, come on, let's bring us home. I know you thoroughly enjoyed this because I saw you every day. And in fact, I think I saw your experience through your facial expressions. And I think you kind of enjoyed this. Dar, tell us what you think. Tell us what you enjoyed the most and what you really got out of it. Our
All
next
right.
silver to be.
That's right. That's right. Oh my gosh. It was, I mean, everybody's already said everything. I completely ditto everything. And I know sitting back, not being there is, kind of maybe feel a little bit lost listening to these amazing stories. But if you can just get a glimpse of what our company, what these leaders, what these owners, these founders are all about, my biggest takeaway is that the heart is God, God through all of our founders and our leaders, and the camaraderie of everybody there, the closeness was just such an amazing feeling, and to know and have a confirmation that you are in the right place, because every gift is of God. No other gifts. It's all about God. But to see a company founded that way and really truly feel that way, and like the other said, watching them in the kitchen, not allowing us to lift a finger, they treated us like kings and queens, and just the experience is just, there really isn't a word to even touch it. I thoroughly enjoyed myself. When Gloria and Joe called out and said, would you please be our guest? I was like, wow, where did this come from? And, Dar in the wilderness, really? Well, so it was definitely an experience, and one that I am most grateful to have been able to share with everybody. All the founders, to speak to them, to get answers from them. There wasn't anybody that wasn't willing to share, to help, to be there for you. This company, because they're God grounded. And from the first time I heard about the company and I listened, and, referrals to God, I was like, oh, please let this be true. Trust me. If you have been touched by somebody that has shared this with you, and as you share it, this truly is a gift from God. It is God's money. It's God's way for us to be his servant through us. And I just can't even tell you how grateful I am. It was a fantastic time. And anytime you can be with these people, even if it's the trips like Bob talked about that they do in the spring, or winter time, I guess, early of the year, early part of the year, to be able to be around these people is amazing. And not to mention the great team. I'm grateful to be a part of the Hawaii team. I'm very grateful. As I say, I'm the mainland Hawaii, and we're growing and grateful. And we just look forward to just sharing and helping people. So yes, it was a great experience. Thank you, Bob.
No, thank you, Dara, for sharing. And so I'm gonna just gotta end with a couple of things. You know, the company is only 4.5 years old. So we're just at the beginning. We basically have been the explorers, the pioneers, but we're about to get the settlers, the rest of the world. And they're going to be on your left team and they're going to be on your right team. So I want you to really have vision. I want you to understand what you really have in your hands here. What you really have in your hands to build a family legacy for the first time ever. That I want all of you to experience the same type of lifestyle I've had for the last 22 years, since I was 52. Actually, yeah, since I was 50, because once we earned that first million in a year in networking, it changed our lives totally. We have no boss, no employees, no financial concerns, to know that if we were just a good steward of what God gave us, that we would be able to live the rest of our lives without, you know, major concerns and problems. We didn't live extravagantly, but we could go where we wanted, when we wanted, do what we wanted to do. And that's what we did. And now 7K has come around and it's offered an even greater opportunity that I can leave that same type of lifestyle for my children and my children's children. And you can too. What other company? Look at all the network marketing companies. Look at all the multi-level marketing companies before them. But how many companies would buy a lodge to have available as a membership benefit, an exclusive, a unique, a historic? This has so much history to it. And when you find it, that this is going to be a membership benefit, you don't have to win a trip. You can actually, you know, reserve a lodge, take your family and go and experience the same, almost, you want to experience what we experienced. You experience the wilderness, the lodge. They have 5 jet boats, and they have all their own whitewater rafting. So they own all of this. And so what other company would do that? I know several other multi-billion-dollar companies, and none of them offer that to any of its members. And in addition, we're going to be able to have access, the company will have access to this to do future things as they grow around the world. And so can you imagine someone from another country being able to be brought in and experience something like this, and they're part of your team? Do you think they'd ever go away? This is truly an amazing chapter in all of our lives, an amazing part of being something bigger than we all are, something to help change people's lives around the world, help them secure their finance, help them secure what they've worked hard for all their lives, help them know that they should do it by teaching them, helping them understand that they can accumulate and they can still protect their wealth, and they can even grow it. And then that will put them in a position to help even more people. We're a business of people helping people. And that's why it's a teamwork business. And that's why the comp plan is based on teamwork. people helping people. You help a person on your left team, make a $500 check, and you help a person on your right team, make a $500 check with the people they know, and you will make $1,000. That's pretty powerful. And you just duplicate that process like I did. I didn't make big money quick. I just did it part-time in retirement in my 70s, helping people on my left earn a $500 check, helping people on my right earn a $500 check with the people they knew, not my people, people they knew. And then for me to rank up, I had to put another person on my left and another person on my right to qualify for the rank. And we've been blessed to be the top money earner in the company right now. But I see you, each one of you, and your future leaders, you will be the top money earners, not me. You will be, because see, you are where the opportunity aligns. I'm just a papa. I'm the papa of the business. And I want every one of you to grow, succeed, and build beyond your wildest imaginations so that you can do this with your children and your families often, and get them to experience once in a lifetime adventures such as this at the Salmon River Lodge. Thank you for your time and attention today. I would like to say that everyone can just remember that everyone can see many of these pictures on 7K photos with an F, 7kphotos.com. They'll be posting them. You would see prior adventures, 2020 FLG, 7K getaways. You can see many pictures. So don't forget, we have several websites associated with our company. And also to stay up to abreast and use as a tool, the 7ktoday.com website. And if you haven't been there, please go there, look it through the entire website. You're going to see vault reports. You're going to see the new products that we have. You're going to see the things that are necessary to communicate and help address questions that maybe some of the people that you're talking to would like to know more about. And they're all right there on that website, 7ktoday.com. And then don't forget to go to 7kphotos.com to see some of the more adventures on this website or this trip. And people who've been there, okay, all the participants, you will be asked, send your photos in, and then they pick them out and they put them up there. So just send as many as you can in.